Breaking news, Cardinals fans. The Cardinals have got trade calls about Josh Sweat. That's right. NFL insider Jordan Schultz tells us this is the case. Teams have called Arizona about Josh Sweat. You're watching Cardinals Today, presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue, and this is the official report here from Schultz. The Cardinals have received trade calls on Pro Bowl DE Josh Sweat. Schultz then adds, Sweat had 12 sacks last season in his first year with Arizona, had a close relationship with Jonathan Gannon, whom the Cardinals moved on from. Lot to dive into here. Tell you what this means for Arizona and what they could get for Sweat. Is he really on the move? When Cardinals news breaks, I make a video on it, folks. So turn those notifications on, hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be the first person to know Cardinals news and be the smartest Cardinals fan in the room as it happens. Hit that subscribe button, and let's dive in to what we know about the Josh Sweat situation. So the latest, and we'll start with what Johnny Venerable had to say, and that is that a while ago, Sweat requested a trade after Gannon was fired. They must really be close because everybody's linking Sweat and Gannon together. It's like he needs to be by his side or something here. Sweat signed in Arizona because of Gannon. That is also something he reported. And they add on that Sweat was the Cardinals' most productive pass rusher by far in 2025, right with those 12 sacks. Nobody else came even close. And what we also heard, this coming in from Tyler Drake, according to Gambo, just now, Josh Sweat is not hurt despite being absent from OTAs, okay? So he's not there, and it's not injury-related. And Kyle Odegaard responds to this, says, don't know the exact reason for the absence, but I have been hearing for a while Josh Sweat is not particularly happy in Arizona. And so all these developments are coming in. Apparently, Sweat's not happy. He loved Gannon. Gannon got the boot. And now teams are calling about Josh Sweat. That should signal something. And look, maybe Sweat really benefits from Gannon's coaching. Specifically, right? Well, what a great year last year for Josh Sweat. And you can see with Gannon, without Gannon, the numbers are completely different. I mean, way more tackles, more sacks. These are on average, by the way, per year. 11.7 tackles for loss, opposed to 6.4. I mean, they just skyrocket. Maybe it's something about the way he coaches him. I don't know, but clearly they have a great relationship, and he produces with Gannon as his coach. So, where's Gannon now? Green Bay. Look out for the Green Bay Packers, who have hired Gannon to be their defensive coordinator, as a potential team that is calling and trying to make this Sweat trade go down. Also, the Packers need an edge. He fits a need. It would be the reunion that everybody wants. They are a team to watch, as teams have now confirmed. It's been confirmed they're calling Arizona for Sweat. And why wouldn't you, to be honest, after last year, based on his numbers, based on the direction Arizona's trending in, it doesn't seem like, it doesn't feel like their win now, 12 sacks, 17 quarterback hits, 13 tackles for loss. Like, people are going to see that. People are going to watch it and be like, yeah, we could trade for Josh Sweat and help out this defense, especially because the cost, which we'll talk more about in a moment, is not going to be a first-round pick, right? It's manageable for a team that can hold on to their first and add Josh Sweat. So let me know in the comment section what you think. My ball knowers, get in the comment section to tell me the percent chance that Josh Sweat gets traded. On a scale of 1 to 100, what percent would you give it that Sweat is moved this offseason? And this trade rumor continues because he's 29 years old. He's signed through to 2029. It's even more appealing for a team that thinks they can compete for the next couple years. He's under contract on a manageable contract. And with the Cardinals perhaps entering a rebuild, or at least not going to be competitive next year because of that tough schedule, and wanting more draft picks for 2027 with how stacked that class is, kind of makes sense that this rumor is a thing. Cardinals would be interested. Teams would be interested in him. I think if you add this part of it to it as well, that he wants out, Arizona would move him. Okay? If he's going to be unhappy and complaining over there on the sideline, Arizona wants to get younger. And when you're a team like this, you just can't afford to have this drama around you all the time. So I do think they would move Sweat. For what would that be and to what team? That's what's next on today's show. But let's give a shout out to Prize Picks, the place to go if you love daily fantasy sports. Player picks on fire right now as playoff basketball gets going. And there's no better place to cash in while watching sports than with Prize Picks. With the social feeds feature, you could share Prize Picks with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. That includes my lineups. That includes producer Ethan's lineups. You can follow us on Prize Picks, tail our picks, fade the picks, get celebrity picks on Prize Picks as well, and find ours before I post them on the show. Here's what I'm rocking with for the Oklahoma City Thunder and San Antonio series over here. I'm going to go more on SGA's points, rebounds, and assists, more than 44.5, and also more than half a double-double for Wembanyama. If anybody's due, it is SGA right now. He has not had more than 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and this is a massive game for OKC. It's a $30 lineup. The payout is $69, and you can make a lineup just like it. App is really easy to use. Pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. And use your offer. If you download the PrizePicks app today and use code HMA, you get $50 on lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. So, for the Cardinals, what does Josh Sweat's contract look like right now? The cap hit in 2026, it's $16.39 million. Next year, it's $23.6. It goes up. What I think you need to know is these two numbers right here, that the cap hit goes up significantly next year for Josh Sweat still on the roster, and two, if they wait till post-June 1, which this deal would happen post-June 1st, no reason to do it before, because you save nearly $11 million if you do this trade post-June 1. So numbers-wise, money-wise, financial-wise, it would also free up some cap space for Arizona. And, well, it doesn't hurt when you can have cap space, which, by the way, does roll over if you wanted to, as Arizona's going to have some money to dish out to Kyler Murray. The asking price for Josh Sweat. I bet, and I'm told by our top guy here at Chat Sports over in the main channel, Tom Downey, he says, I think the Cardinals would be asking for at least the Jonathan Greenard trade package. Maybe some of you remember the Greenard trade that went down during the NFL draft. A Pro Bowler was Greenard as well. The Eagles gave up 2/3 to get Greenard and a 7th. That's right, 2 third-round picks. One this year and then one next year in 2027. So I do think the Cardinals would love to start there for this trade negotiations. Probably a little optimistic to think you could get a second or 2/3, to be honest, just value-wise here. But teams overpay a lot when they are contending and wanting to contend and really want a deal. But in this scenario, we also have to factor in, if Sweat wants out, does that lower his value? I mean, he's unhappy. He doesn't want to be there, it sounds like. So probably more likely you get Sweat for a third-round pick in 2027. Maybe a little extra, maybe a 6th and a 3rd, like something like that. We'll monitor the value for you guys, but I would expect something in that ballpark here of a third-round pick, maybe a little more to sweeten the deal, showing that Greenard got 2/3. Where would that be? Where is that coming from? Let's go through 4 teams actually, that this could happen. Number 1, the Chicago Bears are a team that I do think would be calling about Josh Sweat. First of all, they really want an edge, and they have called around the league for a lot of the top names. They were linked to Max Crosby. They were trying to get Myles Garrett. They ended up trading for Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, who's an edge you've never heard of on the Cleveland Browns at that time. But they were calling for all the big names. They want that star-powered edge. This could be their easiest way to do it. And so the Bears might give you a better deal here. One that was proposed by our Bears host here at Chat Sports says Dayo Adengbo and a third-round pick in 2027 for Josh Sweat. Interesting deal and offer to consider that I think is very likely and realistic. Number 2, San Francisco 49ers. They are a team that has also been looking to make a splash. They have the most cap space out of anyone in the NFL. In 2026, they need an edge badly. Why wouldn't they call for Sweat? Philadelphia Eagles, exactly that same thing. First of all, they already traded for Greenard, so maybe it's a little less likely. It'd be kind of funny if the Vikings actually flipped Greenard and then got Sweat. But Howie Roseman has like a trade fetish, to be honest. Like, he just loves making deals. And maybe he goes up. Eagles need some edge help after losing a big one in free agency. They go try to make a deal for Sweat. Finally, we saved the most likely for last year, 4-1. Green Bay Packers are the number one destination I would put for Josh Sweat. I've presented all those reasons for you guys already at the start of the show. But these are 4 teams to watch for as possible Josh Sweat destinations, as we now know multiple teams are calling about the edge rusher. So let me know in the comments section. 3rd round pick, if that's the value, how's that sound to you guys? Would you trade Sweat for a 2027 3rd round pick? Type D for trade, type D for don't. Let me know in the comment section by getting a letter down below. I understand both sides of it. If you're like, no way, I don't want to trade Sweat. And if you're like, yeah, we should trade him for whatever draft pick we can get in 2027 and load up. Let me know what you guys think by typing a letter, and feel free to say more about what you think that. That's going to do it for today's Cardinals Today episode. Appreciate you all tuning in. I've been your host, Joey O'Donohue. I'll see you guys next time here on the show.